Hey, hi, hello, how are ya? Welcome to this episode of Confessions of a Rock and Roll Wifey. This is the April episode, 2005, and I am stoked to be back in Arkansas. If you don't know me, my name is Ria Brown, and I've had this podcast for a couple years now. This is my third season, and I am pretty much making this season a little different because back when I was in San Diego full time, I was having guests on and, uh, you know, bands, friends who are musicians, involved in the scene. That was my main focus for the podcast, as well as promoting my husband's band. That was a part of it as well. My husband, his name is Darren Brown, and he is the singer for a metal band called the Norse. They were based out of San Diego, although now all of the members are in different states and they are still doing their thing, having little mini tours. Just to kind of go back real quick for people who didn't watch my last episode, they did have to take a little break because Dante had to have open heart surgery and he needed to recover. And on top of that, there was a lot of life events. Brad, he had a full change and move, and Matt was new in the band. And of course, Darren and I moved here. But we are determined to continue to have him live out his dream and work on his music and be touring and continue to make this happen in this day and age. There's really no reason why he can't do that. And so that being said, welcome to the April episode. Again, I'm Ria Brown, and this is Confessions of a Rock and Roll Wifey. We just got back from San Diego for the Battle of the Bands for the Wacken Open Air Festival. Every year, Wacken goes around the whole U.S. and has a Battle of the Bands in multiple cities, and metal bands go and they basically have to sell tickets in order to get the best time slots and so forth, and also bring in as many people as they can. And then the gist of the rest of it is that it's crowd participation as well as stage presence. And I haven't actually looked at the scorecard, what they exactly score for, but they have judges as well as, crowd, whether the crowd likes them and so forth. So we went to San Diego because the Norse decided to go ahead and give it a shot. Why not? Also, it was a huge opportunity for them to just play with some San Diego bands and something really great to be involved in. And that being said, it wasn't something that everybody in the band voted for to do. But since it was something that was like kind of a majority rules type thing, they did decide to go forward with doing the battle. And so we went and we were there for a week. There is a certain feeling of home when we do go there. The energy is so intense and there's so many people and so much going on all the time that I'm not even kidding you. It took me about a week to recover when we came back. So now it's Saturday. We got back on Monday, had a long day of traveling I'm sorry, Sunday. We got back Sunday evening. We traveled all day on Easter Day. So, we are back. And so a few announcements. I'm booking right now for Despite the Darkness. I talked about this in my first episode and told you guys about the whole premise, but just to kind of go over it again in case you haven't watched that episode. Um, the premise of it came from a couple of different things. One, I absolutely love the soft white underbelly with Mark Leota. If you guys don't know what that is, go check it out. It is just an amazing series that kind of started out. Mark Leota is a photographer, and he just was out there kind of taking photos of all walks of life. He does focus mainly on like street people and addicts and people who have been through abuse and abusers. I mean, he does not limit who he talks to. And he has this really great way of kind of just staying neutral when he's doing the interview, and he doesn't say a lot. He kind of just more does probing questions here and there so that the subject can really kind of just get whatever they want out of their off their chest and just see what comes out basically. And I absolutely love that aspect of it. He also does have a book out that is all black and white photos of each of his subjects, and he does feature those as well. In every single episode, he will show like the black and white photo panning down, and then he'll have them talking still with their voiceover, but he kind of just puts a stool there and sits people down and lets them go. And I love that aspect of it. And then the other inspiration that I had was I had done a episode of Confessions of a Rock and Roll Wifey with a good friend named Jolby, who has been through some trauma. And that was one of my favorite episodes that I did because it was just so kind of like more, I don't know, it just felt more comfortable and real to me to be able to really talk about some shit that um really matters. Not that music doesn't matter or entertainment. This this podcast Confessions really is just entertainment. It's a lot of BS. It's a lot of, you know, I guess fuckery and tomfoolery and shenanigans. That is literally what my podcast has been from the beginning, even though we talk about music and bands and like upcoming stuff. Really, it's just about having fun, and kind of being my crazy, silly self. And, it's had some moments and growing pains, and I have learned a lot over, the last 2 seasons. And so, anyways, despite the darkness, that is what is kind of like my baby child that I decided to do so that I could fulfill that side of me that needs to heal and also needs to heal others. Despite the darkness is something that is extremely um personal to me. If I'm going to expect other people to open up and other people to kind of like bare their souls, then I need to be able to and be willing to do that as well. And that's what I want to do because um point blank, I just don't want to die tomorrow and have my story never have been told. And I feel like we all deserve that. As much as we're all connected, I do believe that, we are so different. And as much as we're so different, I do believe that we are so connected and similar as well. And I think that the more that people talk about the horrible things that have happened to them, or have kind of learning experience right before your eyes, it really does help other people heal as well, and other people know that they're just not so alone. And I think that we need to normalize talking about these things, and we need to realize that um, you know as fucked up as it is, we all have been through some really bad shit, like as children and sometimes as adults. And, it could be anything that changed your life, but this is going to be that platform for you to do that, if you'd like. So if you do, please email me. My email for this is going to be RIRIBROWN 742 at gmail.com. So that's Riri Brown 742 at gmail.com. And just tell me a little bit about you, your story, or just say, hey, I have some things I'd like to get off my chest, and I will set something up. So it will take some time though, because um I mean, even my episodes, I only do once a month. And so if I already have people in the pipeline, I may say, okay, I'll call you in a couple months. But it is something that I'm going to be starting soon, and I'm going to be doing episodes probably like twice a month for that one. Because I feel like there's just so much content that could be made for that. When as this one is just more like updates, checking in and kind of, like I said before, promoting my husband's band, talking about this working class rock star life. I've used that term before, but it's not new. Essentially describing the people who are out there in bands and they work hard jobs or work jobs all day, every day, and they go on the weekends and play gigs. And another announcement, just to kind of touch back to the Wacken battle. So they did not win. The Norse did not win. They were on the second night. The first night, Door 13 won first place, Provoked won second place, and Sleeping Faceless won the third place spot. And so that was the first night. The second night, round two, was Runesabar. Runesaber. I don't know if you say it Runesaber or Runesabar. We have Ganondorf, and then we also have Sentinel on to the next round. Now, I do know that Door 13 has I don't know if they're signed or if it's like a promotion deal. Either way, they do have a little bit of backing. And then I believe it was Sentinel that was signed as well. So there's that. I'm not going to be as bold to say that it was rigged or anything like that. But I will say that they did bring in the most people. They did sell the most tickets, and they did have huge crowd participation. Everybody was going nuts. If you go to my Facebook page or to my TikTok or to my Instagram, Confessions of a Rock and Roll Wifey, there are some clips of their performances. But, that's not to take away from the other bands. The other bands were great as well. They all had their own crowds and they all had, participation and everything. So it was a really tough kind of, I guess, decision for the judges. All I know is that they were fucking amazing. They blew the fucking roof off that place. And it was just so cool and so awesome to be there and to witness. Great job, guys. You guys really did kill it. Okay. And hopefully this next one will be just like packed. Each one of those bands is going to gain new fans that night. I guarantee it. I am going to go ahead and just wrap this up. It's Saturday night. Cheers. These strawberry blonde shiner box are actually pretty good. This is a little different. It's not sweet at all. It's a lot more dry, but it's got that huge whiff of strawberry when you smell it and when you're about to drink it. It's weird. Um, so as promised, in every episode, I tell a little rock star story and a funny story with Zach Wild when we went to the roast of Zach Wild, myself and my friend Crystal. I believe it was back in 2011. And we were going to, was it 2011? Yeah, we went to the NAMM show, and it just so happened that on that weekend, the roast of Zach Wild was happening. And so we bought tickets. Now, we're not a part of BLM. We're not a part of that whole army that they have. Like, we just like Zach Wild, but we're not like super fanatics. And so, or did I say BLM? BLS. Black Label Society. They have a crew, okay? They have jackets, they have the whole thing. They're like family. They're like an army, like for real. And so we bought tickets to go to this thing, and we were running around, being our crazy selves. And it was actually really cool because there was like paparazzi there. There was like a step and repeat, like all that shit. And it was funny afterwards, the Orange County newsletter, like newspaper came out, and it had a picture of myself and Crystal on the front of it, and we're smiling in front of the step and repeat, and it says the stars come out for Zakk Wylde roast, and we were just like laughing our asses off because, like, obviously we're not stars, but it was just cool. I don't know, whoever wrote this article didn't even know who we were, but hey, maybe it was foreshadowing. You never know. Oh, speaking of shadow. That. Okay, so just to be quick, because this is actually turning into a really long episode. So we were out in front of the Hilton and we ran into Chad Lee. I don't know if anybody knows Chad Lee, but he is a photographer, a famous photographer who takes photos of Pantera. He was always taking photos of Pantera, always, at these shows and he is actually really good friends with like Dimebag and the whole band and Vinnie Paul and all those guys. And so he's always out there with them. He's like one of them. We ran into him and he was like, "Oh, hey girls, how's it going? Come over here, blah blah. You guys going to the roast?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he was with Peter Keys from from Leonard Skinner. And it was just crazy because you would think that Peter Keys from Leonard Skinner would be like in a limo or like have like this beautiful car or some shit like that. And they're like, "Ride with us. We're just going over there. You can ride with us." And we're like, "Okay, cool." So we wait for the car and the car comes up and it's just this little beater blue like Honda or something. And it was just funny because I just remember thinking, okay. And so Peter Keys drives us all over there. We go to the roast of Zakk Wylde and we get there and, we're all checking in, we're all going in, blah, blah, blah. Well, Crystal and I end up going like to the bathroom or something. So we were separated from them and we walked down and we didn't really know where we were all the way to the bottom part. And we walk up to the front and they're like, "Who are you here to see?" Or "Who are you here with?" or something. And she was like, my friend said something like, "We're here. We bought the tickets from the BLS thing and it was online or whatever. And, we're here to see Zakk Wylde." So they go, "Okay, come in right here." They put us in through the front and we're like in the front. Like they usher us over to these tables and they're like these beautiful tables right in the front and they sit us down. And we're like, "Whoa." And all the people were in the back behind. And fucking Duff McKagan was right there. And like there was like a ton of big rock stars up in the front by where we were. And we're like, "What the hell? Like, I don't know if this is right. Like, are we supposed to be sitting right here?" And they start bringing out food. Okay. They bring out salads, they bring out bread, they're bringing out drinks, they're taking drink orders, like they're taking care of the people down there. And we're like, "Fuck yeah, okay, thanks." We're like, "I don't know how this happened, but I guess this is where we're at, right?" They bring me a salad and we start eating the salad and everything. And then all of a sudden, here comes Zakk Wylde and his wife. Her name's Barbara. And they're like standing there looking fucking confused. Like, who the fuck are these bitches sitting at our table? And apparently we were sitting at the table they were supposed to sit at. And I was like, I was mortified because not only was I just like, because they were like giving us looks and looking at us like, what the fuck? And they were standing like right there, like, and literally everybody there was like, "Who are these people?" Oh my God, I don't think that we are supposed to be here. So then somebody comes over and says, "We put you in the wrong seats. Like, you have to move." So we're like, "All right, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So sorry." Like, we're out of here and we're like, run our little asses up, right? Oh my God. So then they sit us at a table in the middle. So there was like three sections. There was the really cool section, the BLS section, and then back behind there was like the general admission. Well, we're sitting there and in the BLS section, we're surrounded by all these people with the BLS jackets. They're looking at us kind of weird too, like, who the fuck are these bitches? And we're kind of like, oh, okay. Well, because we bought it from the website, like to be there to watch it. So we didn't know where we were supposed to be. And also, we weren't a part of the BLS like group. And so we were just getting to know the people and they were really nice. They were really cool. Don't get me wrong. Um, but we didn't look like them. Literally everybody there was wearing the BLS like cut thing. And so, now it's time for this section to start getting fed. So they're bringing out salads to everybody, bringing out bread and giving everybody drinks. And we're sitting there drinking. I got another salad delivered to me, so I started eating that one. And then fucking, I am not even shitting you, bro. I think we ate. And by the time we were halfway, like, or done with our food, these fucking people come over and say that we're in the wrong section again. Oh my God. And so it turns out, I don't know, I didn't buy the tickets either. She brought the tickets. And it turns out we were supposed to be in the general admission. Okay. So we didn't have like the VIP BLS thing or anything. And we're like, what the fuck? What if we gave them our tickets? I don't know how this happened. So yeah, it was a little embarrassing, but also fucking hilarious because we were drunk as well. And, but we made a bunch of friends in the section. At this point, I've eaten like 2 salads and getting the drinks and everything. And then they take us back to the general admission. And then we walk up and we walk in through the back. And I look over and there's Peter Keys and fucking Chad Lee. And we go over and sit with those guys. They're like, where were you? We're like, hey, oh my God. So we kind of told them, what happened or whatever. And then Peter Keys, he was so nice. Like, I showed him pictures of Brielle when she was a baby. And he was like, oh, she's so adorable and all this stuff. It was definitely interesting that night. Uh, and fucking hilarious and a story to tell for sure. So that's my rockstar encounter story. And I hope you loved it. And I hope you loved this episode. Keep your eyes and ears open for the Norse. They're going to be doing some Minnesota shows. That's where Dante lives, and they have a great metal scene out there. And I mean, come on, the home of the Vikings, right? That is going to be awesome. And they're taking a little time off right now because they're tired. They did a mini tour literally like the month right before that. But then they're going to be definitely playing some shows this summer. And they could end up anywhere because each one of them have areas where they're going to want to be setting things up. So yeah, can't wait. I hope you all have a magnificent Saturday night.
Awesome.
Yeah.